اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, inshallah, we will start right now our dessert program for the whole year. It's called Race to Jannah, cultural event and the prize giving ceremony. And in this case, I'll invite there are three parts of this program. The first part will be emceed by Race and Nabil, and then there will be a cultural program, and then the prize giving ceremonies will be. So for the beginning, I will invite our MC, Race and Nabil.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, welcome to the Race to Jannah cultural and award ceremony.
We begin in the name of Allah, the most gracious and most merciful, and we thank Him for bringing us all together here today.
Race to Jannah is a program which has enhanced the children's Islamic knowledge. Today, our event will be divided into three main sections, from firstly a Quran recitation to a few guest speakers, and finally the winners in each category. So how does the Quran benefit us in our daily lives?
There are many ways we are benefited from the Quran. Firstly, reading and reflecting over the Quran fulfills an Islamic duty. The Quran will be a proof for us on the Day of Judgment. Also, the Quran will intercede for us on the Day of Judgment, and our status in this life will be raised.
You will also be from the best of the people, and finally, there are 10 rewards for each letter you recite in the Quran. Another clear example of the importance of the Quran is highlighted in Surah Yunus, ayah number 57. O mankind, there hath come to you an admonition from your Lord and a healing for the diseases in your hearts and for those who believe a guidance and mercy. We will now commence this event with Surah Doha to be recited by Rowena.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث.
ما شاء الله.
That was a heartwarming beginning to the ceremony. Now we will proceed to the welcoming speech to be presented by Mr. Mustafizur Rahman, who is the president of the BD Halakha.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear parents, my beloved kids, honorable guests, Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, we have gathered in a blessing program where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is blessing us so much. So we are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the chance to get together in this blessing programs. So my apology, I would like to say few words in Bangla and also in English because for our community convenient. So আজকে সবাইকে আমি প্রথমে স্বাগতম জানাচ্ছি অনুষ্ঠানে আসার জন্য। আমি অত্যন্ত কৃতজ্ঞ আপনাদের কাছে যে সুন্দর অনুষ্ঠানে এসে বাচ্চাদেরকে উৎসাহিত করার জন্য। তো আমি প্রথমে রেস টু জানার সম্বন্ধে কিছু বলবো। আসলে এটা আমাদের 6th প্রোগ্রাম, আমরা 6 বছর ধরে করে আসছি আপনাদের সহযোগিতা আলহামদুলিল্লাহ। তো এই প্রোগ্রামে আমরা আসলে এটার উদ্দেশ্য কি? বা রেস টু জান্নাটা কি? রেস টু জান্নাহ আসলে এটা একটা ফোরাম যেখানে আমাদের বাচ্চারা তাদের ইসলামিক নলেজ ডেভেলপ করার সুযোগ পাচ্ছে এবং তারা সুনাগরিক হিসাবে গড়ে ওঠার জন্য সুযোগ পাচ্ছে। এটা আমরা সেই হিসাবে সেই রিসোর্স তৈরি করেছি এবং এখানে আপনাদের সহযোগিতা আলহামদুলিল্লাহ তারা এগুলা শেখার সুযোগ পাচ্ছে। রেস টু জান্নাহ আসলে বেসিক্যালি টু সেভ আওয়ারসেলফ অ্যান্ড আওয়ার ফ্যামিলি ফ্রম দ্য হেলফায়ার, বিকজ আসলে হেলফায়ার সম্বন্ধে আমরা সবাই জানি যে হেলফায়ার থেকে বেঁচে থাকার জন্য আসলে আমাদেরকে ফার্স্ট টু থিংস উই হ্যাভ টু ফোকাস। প্রথমত আমাদের আল্লাহর যে কোরআন, সেই কোরআন অনুযায়ী চলতে হবে এবং রাসূলের যে সুন্নাহ তা মানতে হবে। সেটা মানার জন্য আসলে এবং কোরআন অনুযায়ী চলার জন্য, ইসলামের পথে চলার জন্য এককভাবে সম্ভব নয়। বিশেষ করে এই ওয়েস্টার্ন ওয়ার্ল্ডে যেখানে অনেক চ্যালেঞ্জ আমাদের জন্য রয়েছে, সেখানে এই চ্যালেঞ্জগুলো মোকাবেলা করে এবং নিজের ফেথ, স্পেশালি দ্য ফেথ অফ ইসলাম, এটার মধ্যে টিকে থাকার জন্য আমাদেরকে সংঘবদ্ধভাবে থাকতে হবে, আমাদের ফ্যামিলিকে ইউনাইটেড করে থাকতে হবে। সেই জন্যই আমাদের এই ফোরাম। এই ফোরামের মাধ্যমে আমরা যে গত 6 বছরে বাচ্চাদেরকে যে ইসলামিক নলেজ লাভ করার জন্য, কোরআনের নলেজ লাভ করার জন্য আমরা যে প্রচেষ্টা চালিয়েছি, সেক্ষেত্রে আপনাদের স্বতঃস্ফূর্তভাবে অংশগ্রহণ খুবই ধন্যবাদ পাওয়ার যোগ্য। তা আমি গত 6 বছরে আমাদের ছেলেমেয়েরা যেটুকু অর্জন করেছে তা কিছু বলার আমি বলতে চাচ্ছি। প্রথমত তারা এই প্রোগ্রামের মাধ্যমে তারা কোরআন মেমোরাইজেশন করেছে, তারা বিভিন্ন প্রফেট সম্বন্ধে জেনেছে, তারা ইসলামিক ইতিহাস, ইসলামিক কালচার সম্বন্ধে জেনেছে, তাদের দায়িত্ববোধ এবং সুনাগরিক হিসেবে গড়ার জন্য তাদের ফ্যামিলি, প্যারেন্টস এবং তাদের কমিউনিটির জন্য বা দেশের জন্য যে তাদের দায়িত্ববোধ তারাও সেগুলো এখান থেকে শিখতে পেরেছে। সো আমি মনে করি যে এটা আমাদের জন্য একটা বিশাল চান্স। ইটস এ গ্রেট অপরচুনিটি ফর অল প্যারেন্টস অ্যাজ ওয়েল এজ দ্য কিডস। এখানে আমরা যেমন পারিবারিকভাবে সবাই একত্রিত হওয়ার সুযোগ আছে, আমাদের নিজস্ব বন্ধন, নিজস্ব ফেথ এবং আমাদের সংস্কৃতি এবং আমাদের যেই কমিউনিটির যে কমিটমেন্ট, সেগুলো আমরা এখানে সবাই একত্রিতভাবে থেকে ইনশাল্লাহ আমরা এর বেনিফিট নিতে পারবো। আমি আমার বক্তব্য শেষ করতে চাচ্ছি। অ্যাকচুয়ালি এরপরে আমাদের জমির ভাই এবং অন্যান্য স্পিকার যারা আছেন সবাই বলবেন রেস টু জান্নাহ সম্বন্ধে। তো আমি শুধু এটুকুই বলবো যে আমরা সবার সহযোগিতা ছাড়া এই রেস টু জান্নাহ ভবিষ্যতে চালানো সম্ভব নয়। তো আমি সবাইকে এটা সর্বাঙ্গীনভাবে নিজের ফ্যামিলির মতো মনে করে এগিয়ে আসার জন্য অনুরোধ করছি। বিগত বছরগুলোতে সবাই আপনারা সহযোগিতা করেছেন, সামনেও করবেন এবং আমাদের বাচ্চাদের জন্য একটা সুন্দর প্ল্যাটফর্ম আমরা যেন রেখে যেতে পারি। That will be the legacy that will lead them to earth Jannah, যেখান থেকে এই বিভিন্ন চ্যালেঞ্জ মোকাবেলার পরে তারা দুনিয়াতে এবং আখিরাতে দুই জায়গায় যেন সাকসেসফুল হতে পারে, সেটার জন্য আপনাদের সর্বাত্মক প্রচেষ্টা এবং আপনাদের কায়িক এবং আর্থিক সমস্ত সহযোগিতা আমাদের দরকার। তো আমি সবার সহযোগিতা কামনা করে এবং অনুষ্ঠানে সহযোগিতা করার জন্য এবং আসার জন্য এবং বাচ্চাদেরকে যে সুযোগ দেওয়ার জন্য সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
Thank you, Mr. Mustafizo, for your insight. Now we will invite Bushra to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Bushra, and I'm in my 3rd year of business at the University of Alberta. So today I was told to make a speech about why kids and youth should take part in Race to Jannah. The first obvious and one of the most important answers was because they get to learn about Islam. But in reality, there are so many other benefits. Even though there are only a few winners, the benefits of simply participating far outweigh any material prize that can be given. I have participated in so many business case competitions, lost majority of them, but I still go back and try to participate in as many as possible. Why? Because it's because of the people I meet, the skills I gain, and the experiences I have. So now specifically talking about Race to Jannah. Of course, participants get to learn about Islam through their own research and practice. But one may say that you can do that at home too. So why come to Race to Jannah? What you may not have realized is how much each child is learning through their peers. Research has shown that complex ideas can be processed more easily when communicated via others. When a group of people come together and talk, ideas are not only memorized, but challenged. Uncles here are a practical example of this notion. Many of our dads we see read Rotomalo at home. And through this, they are learning about politics of Bangladesh. But you never see our dads sitting at home challenging the notions that are, the things that are happening in Bangladesh. But you do see that happening at Dawats. You see our parents fighting about politics. But why is that? Because through others, we learn opinions and information that we could have never gotten alone. Not only is Islamic information shared, but so are habits. Doing these competitions encourages participants to see their peers and other role models working hard towards one common goal. So a very common Bengali line that our parents love to say is, "Oi dekho, oi uncle meta ei bhalo kajta korche." Not only me, I'm sure all of my peers have heard this line many, many times. But do our parents understand that, does this line really affect us the way you are hoping? Absolutely not. We kind of hate this line. Why? Because we never get to see it in practice. What you say are all just words. We don't know what's true and what's exaggerated. Seeing is believing. Here at Race to Jannah is where everyone gets to see. Look at all these people out here, either participating or volunteering. These people are actually coming out here and showing the community what success means. They're not just a story that our parents hear on the phone. So now I talk to all of the youth. If you absolutely don't want to compete, at least volunteer. You may meet someone with similar goals. Many of these friends will be the support and guidance you need through tough times in life. These are the people that are working hard from day one, from today, and gaining the skills that you need to get through the rest of life. Trust me, if you think life is hard right now, it's not. It'll get so much harder. Throughout the competition, everyone showcases their best side, which will push you to show your best side. Challenging yourself is the best way to grow and prepare for the future. Showcasing your talent not only helps others, but will help you. Here, you will not only find out about others, but guaranteed, you will find out about yourself. Finding out about your weaknesses and strengths here at a relaxing environment where no one is judging you is way better than finding out about them at a company project where stakes are super high. One small mistake can cost you your job. So everyone, please come out to Race to Jannah 7, which will be starting very soon. Parents, encourage your children to participate. If they absolutely don't want to compete, at least encourage them to volunteer, even for a day. Thank you. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the program.
Thank you, Bushra, for showing us some new views. We now invite Mr. Muhammad Moinul Hussain Bhuyan to share a few words from a parental view.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Thank you, brothers, Dr. Mahdi. I am very happy to see him because I had some chance to hear his very inspirational lecture sometimes before when I was in lab. I was impressed for his lecture, and then whenever I see him even in Edmonton or Calgary, just I try to participate in his lecture. I believe today we will get benefited from his inspirational lecture, especially for youth. And I also watched his some program in TV, CBC in I think 2-3 years ago. He was in some program like about addiction or something like that, arranged by some government people. So far I remember 3-4 years ago. I think he will be very good resource person for our youth and also for ourselves, I believe. Brothers and sisters in Islam, today we are going to have a celebration or award ceremony for our race to Jannah. I think there is a lot of work behind that, and our brothers and sisters worked very hard. They devoted their time, they devoted their money, they devoted their professional time, everything they devoted, and they are going to make it success. I greet our young kids, those participating in this program. It started from March. It started from March and until August. This is a long race. So everybody was very much busy. Within this busy time, they came and they participated in this program. I greet these kids. Actually, when I was asked to say something in this program, I was a little bit awkward because I am not the person to give any speech in front of such very good learned people. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't have especially no amal to speak in front of you guys. But still I have to say something because I was advised to say something. I will try to deliver my speech in mixed Bengali and English. Maybe I will not be able to speak like our Bushra, but we will try to speak in English and Bengali. So whatever I will try to say today, it will be just to remind myself first and to share something with you guys. আমি আজকে একটি হাদিস আমি আলোচনা করার চেষ্টা করব। সেই হাদিসটি হচ্ছে সহিহ আল-বুখারী হাদিস নাম্বার 7439, and this hadith is narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. So in this hadith we said, O Messenger of Allah, shall we see our Lord in the day of judgment, in the day of resurrection, in the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, in the day of doomsday? So he said, do you have any difficulties in seeing sun and moon in the clear sky? Then Sahaba replied, no. Then Prophet Muhammad said, so you will have no difficulty in seeing him in the day of judgment, just as you have no difficulties in seeing him in seeing sun and moon in the clear sky. Then the breeze will be laid across hell. We said, O Messenger of Allah, what is the breeze? He said, it is a slippery breeze on which there are clamps and hooks like thorns, which are wide at one side and narrow at the other side, and have bent at end. Some of the believers will cross the breeze as quickly as the wink of an eye. Some of others are quick as lightning, a strong wind, or fast horse. So some will be saved without any harm. Some will be saved after receiving some scratches, and some will fall down into the hell. So like for example, we are here together. God forbid, if something happened, any emergency situation comes, we have emergency exit here, right? So we'll go outside in the master point, and then definitely we'll look, where is my wife, where is my kids, where is my brother Mustafiz, where is my brother Mahdi, where is my brother this, where is my brother that, right? This situation comes eventually, and we'll look for the people that we actually gathered together here. So in this context, then they will ask, O Allah, we are with our brothers in the dunya. Our brothers used to pray with us, fast with us, and also do good deeds with us. Why is it that we don't see them now? So Allah will say, go and take out of hell anyone in whose heart you find faith equal to the weight of one gold like a dinar. Allah will forbid the fire to burn the faces of those sinners. They will go to them and find some of them in hellfire up to their feet and some up to the middle of their legs. So they will take out those who they will recognize and then they will return. And Allah will say to them, go and take out anyone in whose heart you find faith equal to the weight of on half dinar. They will take out whoever they will recognize and return, and then Allah will say, go and take out anyone in whose heart you will find faith equal to weight of an atom like a very tiny ant. And so they will take out all those who they will recognize. So from this hadith, I would like to mention one thing, that how important it is to work together, to pray together, to perform fasting together, to learn Islam together, like in what we are doing here today. So like, if I think then when we learn about Islam in a group, in a circle, in a halakha, then I hope in the day of judgment, definitely we will look for my other brothers, the people, those are already passing to Jannah. They will look for each other. This is the way that we can connect each other. This is the way we can make a good friendship with each other. This is the way we can do all the good deeds together. So I would say BD Halaka again is a good platform for us and kids to learn about Islam, to practice on Islam, to involve us in many good deeds, to interact with each other and to make friendship. So that is what BD Halaka is doing here today. The great scholar Hassan al-Basri said, make plenty of righteous friends, they will intercede for you. A true friend is one who will drag you into Jannah. So BD Halaka, when I moved from Lethbridge to in St. Albert, is the suburb, is another small city, and then I found that BD Halaka is a good platform to know each other, to know about Islam, to make a good friendship. So I had actually one or two friends when I moved from Lethbridge. Now I have a lot of friends because of the BD Halaka. And this friendship is, I would say, is for the sake of Allah. So I would request to all my brothers and sisters to come as much as possible to participate in BD Halaka. So may Allah save us from hellfire. May Allah help us each other to pick out from the hell to Jannah. May Allah help us to make a good friendship. May Allah help us to make a good friendship for the sake of Allah. May Allah help us to know each other from this halakha. May Allah help us to know about more and more about Islam and also teach our kids and involve our kids in this halakha. So one thing I would like to pray on behalf of parents. So we came in Canada. We brought our kids here in Canada. They did not come. We chose to bring them here. So, and while we bring them here, we put them in a society. We know what kind of environment around it. Brother Mahdi can explain maybe more about us. The other day when I was talking with our brother Rehan, he was just pointing out something about when he was going to university by a bus. So he was pointing out something that how serious the environment outside of the mosque, outside of our family, where our kids are spending most of the time. So if we can bring our kids as much as possible to the BD Halakha, like this kind of activities or so many programs in our different mosques, then we can at least teach them and we can protect or we can educate them to prevent from this kind of environment. To kids, I congratulate all of you guys that you started from your Race to Jannah 6 this year from March 31st. to August 18, you actually face a lot of activities like knowledge test. You are in Quran study, Quran memorization. You are in poster presentation and arts and crafts. I really feel proud for you guys. I was for one session I had an opportunity to be a judge. I surprised to see their performance. Sometimes I see that maybe I would not be able to present like that way. So please keep going on and keep doing job this way you are doing. I am grateful to brothers and sisters. Those are actually spent their time to make it success. And one suggestion that when I was advised to talk something and any suggestion or something like that about PD Halaka, the last year we made a list of the topics that we will go every month for this month for the year 2019. So we have very good topics. We are learning from there. Sometimes I see that when question and discussion or answer session, there's a lot of questions coming for after discussions. These things actually, sometimes we say that, oh, we are very busy and then our time is short, we cannot finish this question and answer. You have a chance only one question or two questions. So just my suggestion, if we see any topics, on any topics we are getting lots of questions, is it possible to split these topics into more sessions? Then we can learn more and more. I remember one topic was about Salat. We had a lot of questions in that case, but we could not actually finish all these questions. So like these topics, if we have so many questions, maybe we can think about in future to split this kind of topics into so many sessions. Then we can actually have a comprehensive understanding about these things. So thank you very much for giving me time, giving me opportunity to be here and to speak something. I again thank Brother Dr. Mahdi. We hope we will learn something more about him, especially our kids. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Moinul, for sharing your thoughts. We now invite our honorable guest speaker, Dr. Mahdi Qasas, who is a renowned psychologist in the Edmonton area, to share a few words, please.
It's got my name wrong. Try it again.
Dr. Mahdi Qasas.
No, Brother Mahdi.
Brother Mahdi. So sorry.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد أشرف المرسلين أما بعد الحمد لله الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا الحمد لله. One of the most powerful words that can transform our lives is the word alhamdulillah. وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you are grateful, just once, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will increase it. I mean, look around you. You've got amazing young speakers, our MCs, mashallah, doing a wonderful job. You have the wonderful Bushra here, amazing. You've got parents willing to speak and even challenge some of the old ways of doing things. Now, when it comes to Islam, we have to recognize that we've been failing. For years and years and years, we've been using the wrong techniques and expecting different results. But BD Halaqa, with this race to Jannah, for 6 years in a row, I guarantee you have been continually improving because they respond to feedback. Am I right?
Yes.
Now when I look at the youth and their motivation for being here, some of them, the source of their motivation is external pressure, right? Like you said, to succeed, you gotta be like somebody else. And the phrase that Bushra mentioned about comparing children to others, unfortunately, is a terrible strategy. but it works sometimes. It pushes kids, but the result of it, anxiety, stress, depression, low self-esteem. So if you want to raise young Muslims with knowledge in the mind but hypocrisy in the heart, keep doing it that way. Keep focusing on their motivation. But instead, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a better way. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the Holy Quran, فَلَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ عَلَىٰ آثَارِهِمْ إِن لَمْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِهَذَا الْحَدِيثِ أَسَفًا. There's a verse in the same surah, Surah Al-Kahf, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala consoles the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And I'm going to get to that in a moment. But I want us to reflect on the better way of doing something. Doing something from a source of wantivation. That you want to actually do it. These projects that the students worked on, you can tell by the level of detail and interest that many of them, if not all of them, wanted to actually do the project. And look at the great outcome that they did. Let me get a little survey of the room here really quickly. How many of you are in the hard sciences? Engineering, accounting, and all that. Show of hands. How many engineers in the room? Or engineering? All right, mashallah. Accounting? Mashallah, mashallah. Who here is in the social sciences? I love how they laugh. Two people, yeah, great. Social science, but probably research, right? Public health or something like that? Yeah, no doubt. Any psychologists in the room? They laugh, they giggle. They giggle, okay. How many times do parents look at the softer sciences or the social sciences? And I'm not here to argue for the social sciences, I'm not at all. But I just want us to reflect on something. How many look at the social sciences as, is bakwas a word in? As something lesser than. Honestly, it's common, right? That's the old way of thinking things. What if I came and I told you, show me one Sahabi who was an engineer. Show me one accounting Sahabi. And you can't say Abdurrahman ibn Auf because he was the money maker. He was in business. We live our lives, and mind you, this is not an argument I'm trying to make. I'm not trying to say that the Sahaba didn't have this knowledge of building and constructing and developing in science. They did. But what I'm trying to say is that sometimes we separate our professional life from our Islamic life. We think that success in this life is somehow different than success in the afterlife. When you race to Jannah, you have to use the world's cars. And car here is an acronym. Competence, autonomy, and relatedness. If you're going to succeed in this life and the next, you need to make sure you feel competent. And by competent means you get feedback. When you do something good, you're told you did something good. When you see these posters, somebody says, MashaAllah, that was excellent. That's the sunnah. The sunnah is not, look at what so-and-so did. Sorry about the accent. That came off wrong. When the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam praised Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he didn't say, did you know what Umar did? Did you see how much Umar gave? Why don't you give like Umar? Radiyallahu anhu ajma'in. His style was so much different. But we forget that. The second one, autonomy, choice. What is the first hadith in almost every single hadith book? We teach our kids it. We live our lives by it. Yes, you, way in the back. إنما الأعمال بالنيات ولكل امرئ ما نوى ما شاء الله. Deeds are judged according to their intentions. Yesterday I said in a khutbah, you can play Fortnite for the sake of Allah. And the kids got all giddy, yay, yay! But the problem is, I don't think so. Unless maybe your parents are happy while you're doing it, but that's probably not the case. But the idea is intention, niyyah, has everything to do with autonomy. Choice, freedom to choose. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us with this ability to choose right from wrong. So why is it that so many of our youth choose wrong? Is it because they didn't have this level of autonomy growing up? They always had to pray. Sure. But when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught the Sahaba prayer, taught them Iman, taught them how to live their lives, how did he do it? Did he ever yell? Did he ever hit? Did he ever scream? When somebody was new, like our children who are very new to Islam, I'm sorry, but you could be 20 years old, you're still kind of a baby. You're not 20, are you? Yeah, okay, sorry. You could be 18, get you out of that category. Oh, 21, okay, big deal. Just joking. But the idea is, even up till the age of, any physicians in the room? Doctors? Or brain scientists? At all? How long does the brain develop for? Up to what age are children's brains still developing? Well, 25? Right? So the idea is, even if you have 20 years of Islamic knowledge, it still makes you nothing. I'm not, like, despite my experience, my knowledge is nothing, especially compared to many of you. But the idea is, as we're growing up, the Prophet Muhammad, the sunnah of teaching is to have rahmah, is to be peaceful. Even if children make mistakes, we don't try to compare them to others. Why? Because that's a form of shaming. It's a form of embarrassing them, making them feel like they're lesser than. You all know the story of Uhud, right? I mean, they made a lot of mistakes in the Battle of Uhud. It was huge. And still, what was the command? فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ. It is out of the mercy of Allah that you were kind with them. If you were harsh-hearted, لو كنت فظا غليظ القلب لانفضوا من حولك. They would have left you. They would have abandoned you. They would not follow your way. They will not answer your phone calls. They will not respond to your emails anymore. They will not care to invite you to their wedding. They will not care to attend your janazah. They will not make dua for you after you're gone. لَنْفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِ. They would leave you. And Allah is talking about the Sahaba with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we don't even have a chance. If we're harsh with the younger generation, they will leave us. And many of them have left Islam because of the harsh-heartedness of so-called Muslims. So we have to understand that if we take away their choice, we take away their niyyah, and if we take away the niyyah, we take away everything. Now I'm not saying let kids roam free and wild. A'udhu billah. Autonomy does not mean independence. Autonomy means you get to choose for yourself. It could be something simple, like which prophet would you like to talk about? That's a choice. And as they grow, we give them bigger and bigger choices. But you see, we walk around with these emotional wounds every single day. Even some of you still have that voice of your own father yelling at you. And he's been in the grave for many, many, many years. Or your own mother and her generalized anxiety disorder. Bushra, you said something earlier. You said, if you think it's easy now, it gets much, much, much harder. I'd like to just add a sentence to that. It doesn't have to be. If we focus on our internal motivation, the car that drives us to Jannah, the competence and the autonomy, and the third one, relatedness, these pains don't have to hurt. Our wonderful little sister who recited Surah Al-Duha, where did she go? She's in the back. It's all good. It's all good. She's praying, she's reciting, getting ready for race to, what's the next one?
Number 7.
Race to Jannah number 7?
7.
What's the theme next year? Not yet?
It's a
Okay.
surprise.
You're gonna let them choose? Or you're gonna choose for them? Okay, just joking, that's not what I mean. But here's the thing. وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى. What do those words mean? What does مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى mean? Anyone? We know it's sad, isn't it? Like if you truly knew what it meant, like here's the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so sad, and Allah, the Almighty, shows him rahmah by saying what? مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى. He didn't abandon you. He didn't forsake you. He's comforting the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's healing him. And we heal together. We don't only grow together, as you mentioned, that bidi halaqah, we develop. You also mentioned the research on when you come together, you can tackle these complex problems together. That shura-based process or even research, when you have a team, it's much better. We're better together. We're stronger together. But we also heal together. When we gather, not only do our spiritual wounds start to disappear. Why? Because when you meet a Muslim brother or sister and you shake hands, the sins are dropping. When you get together in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the angels are gathering and your likes amongst angels is just going out off the charts. I don't want to make those references to you. Oh, look at him, you can connect with the youth by Facebook. No. I want to connect on an emotional, spiritual level, not a superficial level. And here what happens when we get together, we have that sense of relatedness, that connectedness with one another. People start to come to religious gatherings, not for anything related to the talk, but for something else. And we know in the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that when you join a gathering that has the remembrance of Allah, you will never lose. And people that are here today, not for the sake of Allah, you still get the benefits of the group. So, again, the importance of feeling connected. I have a phrase that I like to call my own. I like to say that I own it. I've developed it. If it's not prophetic, it's pathetic. The level of the prophets, every one of them in behind me here, that our youth have spent weeks and weeks and weeks on learning about their lives. Don't ever belittle that. Wallahi, ask any of these, well-seasoned and educated scholars that we have in the room, amongst all the disciplines. This is real knowledge. This is our history. This is our identity. This is knowledge revealed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ultimate of sources. There's no 95% confidence interval there. There's no error in what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Alhamdulillah alladhi anzala ala abdihi al-kitab wa lam yaj'al lahu iwaja. It's perfect. Am I out of time, by the way? Yes? Sorry.
No, brother, continue.
Are you sure? Am I out of time? Should I stop or no?
No, continue.
Get to the punchline? So, the prophetic way of doing things is the only way to do it. Our problem is we don't understand it. We can look like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and if we're very, 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 very knowledgeable, we may slowly start to think like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But I don't believe any one of us will ever, ever, ever feel like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَلَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ عَلَى آثَارِهِمْ. Allah the Almighty is saying to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, are you going to kill yourself over them? Now he didn't mean physically commit suicide, but emotional suicide. He was so hurt. I mean, when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam seen somebody in pain or astray or going away from the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or as you mentioned, heading straight towards hellfire, it hurt him. It would hurt him. Yet sometimes we look at people, we have no empathy, including our own children. We think that it's more important for them to memorize the verse than to be happy while memorizing it. Wallahi, thumma wallahi, thumma wallahi. If your children hate Islam, we're all to blame. But your children love Islam because of you as well. Because you made them feel connected to their peers. Even if you make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But those mistakes we can heal easily. Never wait. Because once that emotional wound strikes, it's easy to heal immediately. But if you wait years upon years upon years, sometimes it destroys the children's self-esteem. And these are the anti-sunnahs. These are all the things that are against Islam when we start to push people away from Islam. Well, I'm here to remind myself and all of us that we need to focus on those three things: competence, autonomy, and relatedness. Now, my topic was supposed to be about role models, and it is. But I want you to ask yourself, who is truly your role model? Who do you look to for success? When you ask yourself about the value of your life, I mean, how much are you really worth? And I don't mean, your body parts on the black market, because that's about $550,000. So if anybody is out for the money, sure, sell yourself for $550,000. But good luck. Depends on how tall you are as well and how much skin you have and all that stuff. But the idea is, I see you looking at your clock. I should be wrapping up, right? I'm so sorry. I have one story. I can totally drop it, or I can tell you this story about a nerd at the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and how he treated. Do you know what the word nerd means? You've heard it growing up, a lot of you, especially the engineers and the accountants in the room. Just joking, just playing. Can I share that story? Is that okay? Is that okay? Anybody bored? Yeah. Yes or no? Show of hands. Yes.
Go ahead.
Show of hands. No. Who would actually lift their hand up in a second? Okay. Really quickly. One day, because we're talking about self-esteem and how you value yourself and the role models, and I'm going to get to that in the end. But right now, one day the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had left his house, and a man by the name of Zahid. Now Zahid was not the coolest Sahabi. He used to work, with sheep and manam and sell milk and all that. So he didn't smell the greatest all the time. So he may not have been fully connected. But again, remember, some people are extroverted, some introverted. Some people like to have just one friend. Others, no, they need a gathering. They need to be the center of attention. Okay? Different personalities for another day. But this Zahid, he would come and visit the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he'd go to his house and he'd bring him milk and stuff like that. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam loved him. And so he comes to the Prophet's house and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not there. Who is it? Zahid, where's the Prophet here? No, okay. So Zahid goes. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes home. They tell him, oh, Zahid came by. Now he didn't say, oh, Zahid, that guy, whatever. You know what I mean? skip or save or delete or don't answer the call. Or, you know what I mean? He said, Zahir? Okay. He said, I wonder where he might be. Zahir sells milk and stuff, so he must be in the marketplace. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who, remember, after prophethood had 23 years of his life, and he spent his valuable time searching for Zahir in the marketplace. And then he sees him. But Zahir doesn't see the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he comes up in behind him, picks him up, and he starts to call out to the people, Man yashtari hadha al-abd? Man yashtari hadha al-abd? Who will buy this slave? Who will buy this slave? Imagine Zahir already feeling perhaps self-conscious and afraid and all that stuff. And he's saying, oh my God, they're going to sell me. What's going on here? And Zahir is doing this, and he looks, and everybody has the most glowing, happy face, smiling at what's going on. And he's thinking, what's going on? And he looks back, and it's none other than the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now Zahir is abd. He's Abdullah. He is a slave. He's a slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Prophet's not lying. But then Zahir says something to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He says, Ya Rasul, who would even buy me? I'm worthless. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, but in the eyes of Allah, you are very, very valuable. How valuable are you will be defined by how close you are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you truly want to know your role model amongst many, I want you to add one more to that list. One more that you may not have ever thought about. Yourself in Jannah. I want your role model to also be the person you are when you walk into Jannah. And forever strive for that. Everyone here will support you. But you must really, really want it. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enhance the self-esteem of our youth. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enhance the value that we place on ourselves in association with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to truly let us believe, if it ain't prophetic, it's pathetic. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم وجزاكم الله خير والسلام عليكم.
Before we go to the concluding speech, I'll ask all the kids who are participating in the cultural program to go to room 1. Thank you, Brother Mahdi, for sharing a new insight. To settle things off, we will invite Mr. Jamir to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum. আসসালামু আলাইকুম। আমার মনে হয় বাংলায় বলি, আমার একটা বিপদে ফেলাই দিল আর কি, বুঝছেন? এরপরে so after alhamdulillah for all its spaces we get like, you know, as long as we hear, I know everywhere like was a pin drop silent. This means, you know, the rahmah is blessing come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this room, and alhamdulillah we are that part. So the whole journey, this race to Jannah, I'll say there were 3 parts, and it's start from March, as our brother Moinul was explaining, and all the way today, alhamdulillah, all of you were the part of that competition. May Allah accept all our effort.
Amen.
May Allah accept all effort from our children.
Amen.
May Allah give them, Allah bring them as a kurrata ayun. You know kurrata ayun, right? One dua Ibrahim alayhi salam teaches us, Rabbana hablana azwajina min dhurriyyatina kurrata ayun waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. This is not easy. Kurrata ayun, coolness in the eye. It's not easy. We know like how our family life goes. We know every single day how our conjugal life goes. We know every single moment when we go to our, like, we see our children. Even, when we are busy in our work, comes up with all the stress in the outside, if we come at home and if we see our children, that's a little kurrata ayun come, right? But the real kurrata ayun comes, every husband, if he sees that, his family is worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And every wife, they get kurrata ayun if they see their husband and then their children is praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That kurrata ayun, inshallah, we are looking for. At the same time, the second part of the dua is muttaqima imama, the leader of the people who fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all our mission and vision of these types of program is to bring our children as a muttaqin imama, right? This is one way to think. Another way is Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked us to make dua, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azabannar. There are two parts. There are the part for dunya and part for akhirah. So when our children, especially our youth comes, and I saw like the MCs, the three part of this program, the MCs are youth. For the first time, you see like who were in raised to 5, raised to 4, 3. There are like 1 or 2 persons always like they're doing everything. But this time you see our youth is emceeing this program, leading this, and we wish they will be the leader of Canada, they will be the leader of Muslims, and they will be the leader of our community. But that will not come just talking and just gathering in one day. It will not come that way. We have to walk a long path. In this society where we are struggling every single day to remain ourselves as a Muslim, in this society we are blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that already the society has a lot of norms and puts in that we did not have in our back home. We did not have in the back home. What we bring our back home is our knowledge, our power of knowledge, and our professions and our experience. But the ethics, the professionalism, like the disciplines and everything, of course we are learning here. And I wish we will learn every single day. But we want our children to be not only the best citizen of the Canada, they will be the Muslim. If they will be the professional, they will be the Muslim professional, inshallah ta'ala. The final thing I would like to mention, inshallah, when we are doing this program, there is an umbrella organization we have that's called Muslim Council Canada. And Muslim Council Canada actually is a non-profit Canadian corporate that's actually putting all this, patronizing all this program all around in Canada. And here, what we would like to do, that we, inshallah, bring our youth to the next level. In our leadership, we would like to bring our youth to make leadership among us and also leading the community. Ultimately, building the community. And for that reason, if they comes forward and then any youth, you come forward and you need a volunteer certificate, like say, hey, I'm volunteering here and I'm volunteering there. I need a certificate for my Fit Dunya. Of course, I can write that certificate to you, inshallah ta'ala. If you need it, you can use it. But for akhirah, Fit Dunya wal akhirah, remember, Fit Dunya wal akhirah, for akhirah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will only give every reward for that. And we are praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept all our effort. And I would like to make thanks to all our volunteers, youth, sisters, brothers, planners, surah, leaders, everywhere, this mosque, and also all these patronizers. I would like to thank from my heart And I would like to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept all this effort. Jazakallahu khair. Inshallah, we will turn into the second part of this program. Assalamu alaikum.